I'm Urban Laughter. You're a hater, don't say it. And I just introduced myself. Did you hear me introduce myself?
I heard you this time because I'm JB.
Oh. We should have made this a live episode and I come with my hair down because my cat ass catting. And I know you see, I look like a.
She also has a Plinko bag on her head today.
My hair is done underneath though. It got body too. That's stiff. I just
watched. You saw how I named last episode stiff wear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was dying. it do got body though. It was all blowing yesterday. People was like, "Your hair looks really nice." I'm like, "Yes, it smells good too."
hopefully the wind didn't blow it up too much because we know what be happening in that undercarriage.
Shut up, Heifer. No, shut up, Heifer. No, shut up. No, I gelled it up yesterday. I really that. Because where I get my hair done at is actually near where the shooting was.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to go out that way. It's still a little bit. I mean, I know it's like probably functioning back to normal, but I just don't want to be out that way.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, there was what's that mall in Durham? Was it Northgate? North? I don't know because there's two malls. North Lake. No, that's Charlotte. That's Charlotte.
Yeah. Are you talking about the one in South Carolina?
I'm talking about Durham. In Durham, there's there's South Carolina, and then there's like Northgate or something like that.
Ain't it Westlake?
Westlake it's Mall? North. All I know is that mall was known for having shootings. I was not about to go over there. It was not. Yep, it's Northgate Mall. Northgate. But yeah, don't go over there.
And won't. You got to tell me but once.
I was like, just like there was. I think the one that you were talking about, Northlake in Charlotte, was known for having shootings every now and then too.
Mm-hmm. And it was just
like, you know what? I'll go there if I absolutely need to, but it's not. A requirement for me at all.
Yeah, there was some in South Lake Mall. There was a shooting.
But welcome to another episode of
a riveting episode of the Rude Urban Truth.
We already said our names. Hopefully, you're having a great day.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, it is happy Easter.
Yeah, well, you Easter. Forget.
No, I mean, is it me or is like it just didn't feel like Easter was coming up this time? Like I didn't hear many people talking about it. I didn't even remember it was Good Friday on Friday until like people were talking about some of the businesses that they work with, like we're going to be closed. And I was like, my job wasn't.
My job definitely wasn't, honey. Let me tell you, I enjoyed it.
We were all up in there, but yesterday, I went outside. I had big fun.
What you do?
We did brunch. We did brunch at a place called The Common Table, which has a hip hop brunch on the weekends. Okay. We had one of them big old mimosa towers, which was real cute. It was called Biggie. You could either get the Biggie or the Little Kim.
Okay.
It was about 7 of us. And then afterwards, it was like, oh, so what do y'all want to do afterwards? And it went from that to us going to a Mexican restaurant for drinks called Mi Cocina. And then we went from Mi Cocina to Parliament and had more drinks. And then there was a day party at Nirvana Lounge, which was even more fun. And I have videos, so I'm going to send them to you.
Yes, I had a good time, but it was with one of my aunt's friends. But we did like more calm stuff. We went to a place called Field Trip. It's a black chef up in Harlem. Gumbo, chef kiss. Went to Red Rooster. Ran into the owner of Harlem Haberdashery. It's this clothing store that I used to go to in the early 2000s. Did not realize at the time that I was going that it was a new store. Long story short, finally met the owner yesterday. Tell him how I found out about the business. They're having a 10-year anniversary celebration on May 7th, which I will be in attendance, which is a Saturday, the day before Mother's Day. So I will be a part of that. So if anybody want to come with me that's in the New York area, come on, let's meet up. And then also met the owner of an art gallery literally directly across the street that's been there for 2 years. And it is beautiful black art. All the artists are black. And all types of black. Like there are people from Africa. There's American blacks. Afro-Latinos. It's all black art. And I don't want to use the D word, but across the diaspora. Yeah, it was dope.
Diaspora.
The term diaspora.
You should have the video now. In true Brian fashion, you'll see him dancing
I feel like they rhythmically chanting "Hey" around eggs, y'all. Oh, this is
it's
a party.
yeah. We were outside. It
Look
was
at
real.
that's really my baby. It says we need to post this on our page. Like I'm posting this on Friday. Oh, it's the weekend. It's
No,
the
no,
weekend.
wait. He starts really getting into it as it goes on. Like it starts.
No,
You
look,
know how
I
Brian
seen a
gets.
leg kick. Anytime a black person bend their arm up and dip that shoulder to the left, oh, it's about to be on. And y'all know just what the step I'm talking about. As soon as you see that up and that dip to the left, you be like, oh, they about to fuck it up. Go ahead.
Hmm. It was fun. There was another video too. They were
Oh yeah,
dancing
we're
to.
posting this. Like weekend getting started.
They
Weekend
were
getting
dancing
started.
to "Woo Woo Pull Over" Trina. I always have to sing it to remember what the name of the song is. But
I can't think of the name of that song. I bet you would. I bet you would. I bet you.
oh yeah, that's the one that he was dancing to. I don't know what the
I
name of
know.
it's called.
I don't either. But I know when I hear it. As soon as I hear the dun 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 dun, dun I know the beat.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't go out much, but this was fun to get out. It was fun, and I literally was out from like 11:15 until almost 9 o'clock yesterday. So yeah, I had
I
big
like
fun, you
Saturdays
guys.
like that. I was back
I,
home by six, child, and I still woke up bad. Well, I thought I had put my phone on charge. Y'all know I'm a 3% girl. And oh, did y'all notice? Fun fact: anybody who has like an iPhone 11 and newer, if your phone dies, if you use like the Express Transit on your phone or like any other cars for like pen, it'll actually still scan even what your phone did. I found that out through experience. And then there's a thing that comes up that'll say Express Transit. Like when you click on it, it'll say Express Transit and cars still available. So your phone will be dead, but you can still scan and get your fare, like get onto a subway. Yeah, it's a dope feature. So
my
like your
phone would have
phone is
never
dead, but it's
been
not
dead
totally
enough to
dead.
know that, but I'm glad that you know
Yeah,
that
I say
from
your phone's
having
not
your dead
totally
phone.
dead. I guess it shuts off to conserve that little bit of energy to scan through those turnstiles. But yeah, mine's worked,
Well, it,
and
it
I
does
really
that for other stuff too. Right on the tip of
it's
my tongue. I can't remember what it is, but there are a couple of things that the iPhone it reserves like a very very small portion of the battery to, especially for like emergencies and things like that. So that makes
like the
sense.
Express Transit, and find my iPhone is still available even when it's off now. But yeah, I know because my phone died, and I happened to just press it. And I'm like, damn. I was looking. I'm like, damn. I have to go get a Metro card because my phone is dead. Because I used the scan with my phone. I'm like, damn. But something happened, and I hit it, and I happened to see like the words flash at the bottom. I'm all like, let me see something. Then it let me through. I said, oh, okay then. I was very happy about that. So yeah, anybody who keeps their phone dead like me, yes. And I said all that to say that I put my phone on the charger yesterday, y'all. Why I wake up 1 o'clock this afternoon looking like Mr. Krabs? I obviously didn't go to church this Easter Sunday, or any Sunday for that matter. I need to get back, but I'm getting around to it. But yeah, woke up Mr. Krabs style. Called JB. He's all like, "Yeah, let's record this later around your time." I got in the shower, got back in my bed. I mean, I've been lounging like a cat. Well, I did start my makeup. I did my eyes and everything. I'm gonna do a little bit of foundation and stuff before I dip out. I'm probably gonna have a dinner while I'm out. So I gotta make some returns. I'm gonna check too, make sure the Easter hours ain't affected
She's
by the
making
store. Cause
returns on things she's worn.
I am not. He made that up. This stuff can't even fit me. Look, this stuff can't even fit me, and in a good way because it's too big, not because it's too small. I was like, oh, this can't fit. Look, I went like this. I went, oh, it's baggy. I was so happy. I was so happy it was baggy. I'm all like, oh, it's baggy.
Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Well,
Fix it.
let's go ahead and get into the show. Let's just go ahead and throw us in there. What do you have for a rude quote of the week this week?
Y'all, for the Woo quote this week, our good friend, Boogie SP. Because one thing about black people, we gonna say look at God about anything, and I don't care if it's an empty parking spot, and say we don't. We be all look at God, won't He do it about every single thing? Say we don't.
I'm actually glad that you brought this up.
Oh God.
Because the other day I was on Facebook. Well, I got a message on Facebook Messenger from a melanin challenge person that I went to high school with, and she sent me a message that was a picture of some cream savers that she bought because cream savers are back out now, and she bought like the strawberry ones, the strawberries and cream ones, and I saw the picture and I said, "Look at God."
Wait a minute. The cream savers are back?
Hmm. So I said, look at God when I saw the picture, and she said, "LOL, I don't know what that means."
You sent me this. Can we post this? Does she follow us?
I don't know if she follows us or not, but yes, I sent the screenshot to Urban Laughter. I'm like, I was in shock because I just feel like, so many things that black people say are stolen so much that I've just assumed that Look at God had already been taken. Like we've been saying that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to explain what Look at God means. And she just kind of continued on with the conversation. But I was thrown. I was thrown. She's a really nice person, but I was just thrown. Now I'm going to be on the lookout just in case I see it pop up on her page. Like she's known it this whole time, but
I wanted to post it so bad.
I'm going to have to
Brian's
look.
going up. Even without us asking his ass. His ass is going up.
I'll look it up and see if I can find her. If she did not, then we can put it up there because it would go very well with your rude quote of the week.
It really would.
But anyway, let's go ahead into Black Magic. I have two people for Black Magic. I want to highlight.
I feel like they should have been in Living While Black, and we should have made this teacher Black Magic Woman. But carry on.
I mean, but you also didn't move them up to do that, so
I didn't move her up because I was thinking like,
we've actually honored more than one person in Black Magic before. So you saying that I'm just saying you could have done something.
Oh, this Pepsi got a little kick.
But I am highlighting Stephen and Aisha Curry for Black Magic this week because the Currys just unveiled the first of 150 little town libraries.
Hold
and
up.
They're going to be used
Steph Curry's name is Stephen? I thought it was Stephen that whole time.
No, Stephen.
It's Stephen Curry.
That's why
he goes by Steph.
There you go.
Well, no, but Steph.
If it was Stephen, why would you call him Steph? No, but so like they unveiled the first of 150 little town libraries, which are going to be used to combat low literacy areas in Oakland, California. So last September, they launched a mobile bus under their Eat, Learn, Play Foundation umbrella, where that bus acted as both a food truck and library. So they were able to provide healthy meals for people who were in need on one side, and then books for people on the other. So now, they push for this the Little Town Libraries thing because apparently in Oakland, it shows that 1 in 3 kids are usually reading at a grade level by the end of the 3rd year, according to this foundation. It says, however, in Oakland, after 2 years of virtual schooling, only 15% of Black and 12% of Latino elementary students are currently reading at their grade level. So the Currys are trying to use something like this to help with that. And it says that it says unveiling the first of 150 Little Town libraries is aimed at bringing 30,000 books to people across the Bay Area, which is pretty dope. And I always see stuff like this, and I hope that this inspires other people to try to do something similar or do other things to try to combat literacy issues in some of these areas. Well, I was just looking at the pictures. I like them, even though they're kind of questionable at times. I'm more of a Stephen fan than I am an Aisha Curry fan because Aisha be giving pick me vibes sometimes, and they kind of throws me. But I thought this was really dope. Something they said here says these boxes can hopefully create the access to literacy resources and services these kids in a fun and accessible way. It says, like Aisha said, 150 of these are going to go around Oakland in the right areas and locations. But that means 30,000 books at the hands of kids that need the inspiration, the tools to develop at the right ages, and hopefully bring an amazing experience of fun to reading, which is what it's all about. So I thought that was pretty dope to highlight. We be saying fuck them kids, but we really want kids to succeed.
We really love them babies.
Yeah, we love them, but we also say fuck them because they're not our problems when it comes to taking care of them.
I didn't have to act like that.
Right. She did. She definitely had her tongue out like Megan Thee Stallion too. But
I hate that gets referenced to Megan Thee Stallion. I've been putting my tongue out for years before that
But yeah, just wanted to highlight them really quickly. Do you want to go ahead and talk about the teacher since we're here?
No, I'm gonna save her for the end, like I said. I was making sure I got my
Oh,
other root pulled up.
oh.
I actually looked up a message to leave for y'all today, and I was trying to make sure I did. I actually remember I kept telling you like I see good stuff and then I forget to screenshot it to keep it up. Well, this week I actually remembered to screenshot the things that I wanted. I was looking like, oh, screenshot it now. Got that, my root quote, the teacher, and I got something to leave us with.
Well, I had actually seen the thing about the teacher on Because of Them We Can too. So I think it's cool that you actually found it because it was also something that took place in New York.
It was on our news. They had it on ABC7 New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see the link. ABC7NewYork.com.
Yeah, I seen it on the news when she was helping that little baby.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead into Root Talk.
Root Talk.
Y'all, I left. I stopped talking just to make sure she was catching up, but she was busy eating.
Sipping my Pepsi. See, that's your problem. You're always in my business. I think that's really your problem.
So I am starting this Root Talk off with making us all feel old.
Wow.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. I came across this article that basically said people who grew up in the 90s are sharing phrases that newer generations will never understand. And the first one is, would you like to sit in smoking or non-smoking?
Wow, that's true.
Like you never hear that anymore. It's like you're not allowed to smoke in restaurants anymore.
At all.
But back in the day, it was like a half side was for smoking, half of us. But did you even notice that there was never anything that truly separated you from the smoking people? So this smoke could easily come over there. But they always just said, "Oh,
because my mom used to always smoke section and smoke her little ports over there." Yo, that they really wouldn't know about. Wow, they really wouldn't know about it.
And then the next one is an image of a Nintendo 64, and the quote is, "Have you tried blowing in it? Sometimes that works." And when you think about it, the only thing that has cartridges right now are like the Nintendo Switch, but PlayStation has a disc or it's digital. The Xbox has a disc or it's digital, or you can buy digital games for the Switch. But generally, you don't have a cartridge, so these kids would not even understand the whole point of blowing into a cartridge, even though they tell you you're not supposed to. But I can attest to the fact that blowing into my Nintendo cartridge helped it work. I'm just saying. But they would never understand that. Or what about this one? Get off the phone. I need to use the internet.
Oh, I know you remember that. Remember the dialing up? I used to hate that noise.
Right. Or here's one. Let's watch some music videos on MTV.
First of all, definitely watch music videos on MTV. But do you remember pop-up video?
Yes, I loved pop-up video.
So did I. I need to remember. I need them. I thought these kids today.
What was it? Something about I love the 90s or not. I love the 70s or what was it? It was a thing.
No, I love the 80s. I love the 70s. Both of them were things.
Oh. Yes,
because the 70s ones would show like some of the Jackson 5 and like the late 70s, like 1978, 79-ish, would show like Michael Jackson first coming out. Like, this is pre-Thriller. Because when Thriller come out, what, like 80? When did Thriller come out?
80s. It came in maybe 83, 84 or something like that.
Yeah, it was the early 80s. I'm about to put when did Thriller come out? 1982. So this is like pre-Thriller. This is like 79. Like, I'm talking like 79, like off the wall, like late 70s, early 80s. Like, because they would show like the little videos of Michael Jackson in the late 70s. And I'm like, okay, I see him. He getting it, just doing his little solo career popping off or whatever. And then Thriller came out. Still ain't nothing better than Thriller.
Music video wise, or you mean album wise?
Album, calm your tits. You love to be argumentative. You were so ready to cite some videos.
Because I was sitting there like music video, like Michael Jackson had a lot of legendary videos. So I was just sitting there like scrolling through my head.
Do you remember the time that was my favorite
one? Remember the Time. Remember the Time was so dope.
That's how we found out that my cousin, Young Guru, could dance. She could do the choreography, and it wasn't a little kid choreography. It was like the actual adult choreography. Like, she can really dance. But anyway.
Okay, so number 5.
This is giving me memories.
Number 5 is First of all, the pictures of a VCR. So that's one thing they already won't understand. But the caption
Yeah.
says, "Be kind, rewind," because stuff like Blockbuster and them would require you to have the VCR, the tape rewinded before you could take it in, which I never really understood because they always had a machine that they could put the tape in, close it, and it would automatically rewind it. But yeah. Or what about this? Isn't a quote,
We
but
need to post this
you
today.
know how many album or songs or mixtapes we made from recording from the radio?
Man, what? What? You know how many
And
times
do
I
you
like
know
to
how
sit and try to
mad
beat number six?
if I
You
was
know how many times
recording?
I shot to beat caller 16 to win tickets? Or a
You know,
CD?
do you know how mad I used to be when I was recording a song and then like the DJ would come in talking towards the end? I'm like, no, I don't want none of
Yeah.
the DJ up here. Now I got to
Right.
rewind it and wait for a new version of the song to play one night.
Hello? Hello?
Mm-mm-mm. Or what about, since I'm talking about tapes, wind it back with the pencil.
Ooh, I definitely
You
do
remember
that.
when
That's an old school
the
number
all of
two.
the ribbon stuff would come out and you would have to get
You
that
see me?
pencil to start?
What you be doing? What you?
Oh man.
That was a hassle.
What about this one? Let me call you back after 9.
Yeah, when the minutes were free? Yes.
Right. And then I thought it was hot shit when Sprint and them made it 7. Because, back in the day, Sprint was like the cell phone carrier to have.
Right. They were the ones.
'Cause I think
They was
Sprint
the
was
first
actually the
ones.
first one that ended up moving it to 6.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or what about this one? Go get that phone book.
Child, I'm heavy.
Do
I
you know
remember my brother one time was fighting.
they still deliver them out to some places?
Yes, one time me and my little brother was fighting each other with them phone books. Let me tell you how we both should have been arrested by the proper authorities. We got a beating anyway for fighting. Girl, mom did not play us fighting each other, but it's really crazy. It's really crazy.
Mm-mm. Okay, so this one says, hold on, let me try to get my voice together. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Okay, can I give you another fun fact? I don't know if this is on there or not, though. The kids today don't know what a busy signal is.
Oh no!
I have an example. My niece at the time was maybe 10 or 11. And we had an aunt who only had a landline still. She old school. And we telling her to call her to tell her we were on our way to go pick her up, which is down the road. I said, hey, call on Evie, tell her we on our way. She's like, I did. She's like, the phone's broke. I'm like, how you know her phone's broke? I'm like, is it going to voicemail? She's like, no, it's not going to voicemail. Y'all, we made her call and put it on speaker. It was literally the busy signal because she didn't have call waiting. She was on the other end.
Oh
It was like,
gosh!
boop, boop, boop. She didn't know what a busy signal was. She can't even forge her parents' signatures because she doesn't know cursive.
Oh gosh!
They didn't teach
They
them
lied
cursive.
to us growing up, making it seem like when we got to a certain grade, they gonna only let us write in cursive.
They told
like,
us in
I was
high
writing
school
in
that
print still.
They told us in high school that if we got to high school and was still, they told us middle school and elementary. If you get to middle school, they only write in cursive in middle school, and you're going to be sitting up and you're going to be the only one printing like a kid. Little kids, we don't want to be the little kids. We want to be big kids. Child, I didn't learn how to write in cursive for what? These heathens don't even know. I could write something. Well, the good thing is we can have stuff from our kids because they can't read cursive.
And they really don't even have to know how to do a signature for a lot of things now because you can do a digital signature that'll automatically populate a signature for you. They a lot of times don't really know how to sign and don't have a reason to sign. It's crazy. Okay, so what about this one? And I would love for you to tell me other examples of how people would compliment people back in the 90s. This is one. All that in a bag of chips.
Oh, definitely all that in a bag of chips. Like, yo, you look at all that in a bag of chips. Oh, your outfit is bomb. That's where that came from. We used to be like, oh, you look so bomb. Do people still say that?
The bomb. My grandma said the bomb.
Like, oh, that outfit's the bomb.
But she would say the bomb. But
yeah, oh, that's cute. But the saying is that that outfit is the bomb. Look at you.
You're right. All right, let's see. Oh, here's one. The roof is on fire.
We don't
need no water, man. Burn. Okay.
Burn. Oh, what other sayings? The bomb. All that in a bag of chips.
Ooh, what about having a floor model television?
Getting fly. We had one.
We did too. And then it turned into a TV stand for another TV.
Yep. Ours. Oh, that must be a black thing. Yep. Ours too. We did another TV right on top of that one. Then eventually my mom got a big screen. But the
Or
old school big screens, like the ones that was still a floor
were
model, but they was
huge.
tall and they had a lot of. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
Yeah, we had one of them old school big. Oh, we really are old. When did we get here?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm really an auntie.
This is gonna be another good example of it. What do we use now when we're looking for something? We might use Google. We're gonna Google something.
I thought the flash. I
But,
was say the flashlight on our phone. I thought you meant like physically looking
mm-mm.
for something.
But you remember Ask Jeeves?
As Jeep, y'all, Jeeves used to have on the tux. Jeeves
Yeah,
was he used to be mad proper. He used to be holding the Jeeves on a silver platter.
right.
I
Mm-mm. Do
remember
people still
Jeeves.
use Rolodexes?
I don't know, but I remember Netscape too.
Oh yes, I used to have a
Do
blog on
people use
Angel Fire.
Rolodexes? Do people use Rolodexes? My mom used to have one on her old desk, and she used to really flip through that shit too. Like, remember the car catalog?
Oh yes,
Your car
yes.
catalogs was kind of dope.
Okay, so this is it's just so weird to know that the kids won't know this. You've got mail.
Y'all, you've got me. Do you remember the sound that AOL chat used to make? You remember AOL chat?
Or when somebody signed on and it sounded like the door was opening,
Yeah,
and then when they signed
yeah,
out, the door would close.
yes, y'all. My AOL's name was like Chick Fab Fem or something crazy.
No, it was
Um,
Lucky C99. Mm-hmm. Hold
oh
on. So
my
I'm
goodness,
about
my
to age
goodness.
myself. I was aged at work instead. Okay, so I was sitting down because I randomly wanted to start listening to music that would be on TRL. So I found a playlist. I was listening to a TRL playlist, and someone came over to talk to me. And right when I hit pause, Hillary Duff had just turned on. So she saw Hillary Duff and just busted out laughing. So we're laughing
Wow,
about it, and this guy
whose
that's
uncle is
new
this?
is sitting beside me, and I was like, "Yeah, I was just listening to a TRL playlist," and he says TRL. I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he was like, "What's TRL?"
Oh,
And I'm
oh, that
like,
hurts me so
"Oh my
bad.
god, how old are you?" He's like, "I'm
He
like
said, "What's
25."
TRL?"
I was like, TRL was one of the things I came home to watch. I watched TRL. I would once TRL was over. Generally, that coincided with when Rap City came on. Rap City would be on,
Freedom and
and then
Rap
right
City.
after Rap City went off, 106 and Park would come on. So I would be watching these in
Lineup.
succession.
And we talking the old one on Sister Park with AJ and Free.
Yes, because Roxy and Terrence J, we're okay with not ever acknowledging we're on the show.
Don't
But
say where. I ain't gonna say that. Y'all did
I
great, but
am
I am an
just like
AJ and Free
because
girl.
it
I
ended
kind
up
of
turning from them to Keisha Cole and Lil Bow Wow. Good with
well, I
those.
stopped watching it after AJ and Free. So after that, I didn't. I watched it shortly after I seen no, because was it during them when Michelle fell? I seen Michelle fall live.
Michelle failed. I think AJ and Free was still up there.
Yeah, because it was on one of Sister Park when they fell. They was coming down them little steps. Michelle got bought up. Beyonce and Kelly stepped right over her a little behind. I mean, I knew they had to, but they didn't even turn back around and see if she was okay. It was just like they just kept performing.
Hmm.
I mean, she got up.
Okay, what about this? This was an insult back in the day. Talk to the hand.
I
Talk to
remember
the
that.
hand.
Talk to the hand.
Oh,
What it
oh,
say
oh,
something?
oh,
Hand
this
is
was a good one because we used to do this all the time. When you needed to change phones because the one downstairs, you had to go to another room to use another phone, and you screaming, "Okay, I got the phone. Hang up."
yeah. You said that your sibling help you. Like, hold on, let me go to the
Oh
phone in my
man,
mom's room. And you run up there. You like, don't hang up. And you get him running up the
right.
steps.
And then on top of this, there's a caption that says, "I can still hear you breathing."
Right,
Hang up the
right.
phone.
You really. No, remember the three-way calls? You used to have people mute themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody did that to me.
Mm-mm-mm. Somebody said, "Shut up. I need to record this phone so it can be my ringtone."
Okay.
I used to make my own ringtones all the time.
So, oh, we're
For
old.
Nokia. Back when Nokia was actually it. Back when Sanyos were actually it. The Sidekick. Ugh, we're old. We are old.
We
Anyway,
are old.
okay, so I just need to get out of that old moment. It's depressing to realize that we're actually aging, and the kids these days don't really know a lot of what we experienced when we were growing up. So I'm going to take us
Did you see my
into.
face? I was like,
It's just shooketh.
I know I really am shook. Like,
So I also came across this post that was talking about um, petty revenge things, like employees that were getting revenge on their employers by doing something incredibly petty. And one of them is this: I incorporated a penis into a wedding cake. It was a dual stroke for my old boss and the bridezilla. The bakery I ran was a nightmare, and after giving the owners a month's notice, they started verbally giving everyone raises in front of me. Part of the reason I was leaving was because they offered me a $17 an hour raise if I stayed, but after not giving me one for 3 years. Where was that money for the last 3 years? They also started to allow my front staff to collect tips, which I had been fighting for 5 years. The bride for my final event was a nightmare, so I snuck a drawing of a penis in the middle tier of the cake, which was covered with scroll work. The wedding was my last day, so I delivered it and never looked back. I heard someone in the wedding party notice, and the bride had a fit. There was my raise.
she ran. You need to see me a link. Did they got a picture of the cake?
I know they didn't. I would have loved to seen a picture of the cake, because in my mind, I imagine like they cut the cake, and
So
then and then when you pull the cake out, you see a penis.
yes, that's exactly what I imagined. A slice right into the penis.
Let's see. Another one in here said, I guess their boss got on their nerves, so they plugged a mini wireless keyboard into their boss's computer. And when his boss had a customer, he would add an extra letter when he typed in his password, and it locked him out of his computer every time. I might have to fight you, because I hate having to remember new passwords.
Me too.
Right. Okay, so this one is actually kind of funny to me. I was told I was finally getting a hard-earned promotion at my current company over a year ago. A few weeks later, my manager and skip level manager told me I was being denied the promotion because of something I said, but they wouldn't tell me what that was that I said. Out of spite, I went to HR and reported a previous incident of when my skip level manager angrily grabbed my arm during our company all hands. I got the promotion, and that skip level manager is no longer with
time
the
out.
company.
Why your boss shaking you up? And why didn't you quit?
I don't know, but they got the promotion and he's been fired. So
How's that for a snatch?
okay, so this one makes me think of like how I would love to respond to something if I was at work, because you know me, you know how important both of us. We know how important food is to both of us. Don't go messing with my food. Period.
Hello.
If I put something in
Please
the
and
fridge,
thank you.
don't touch my stuff. So this particular person said, one day I was very strapped for money, so for lunch, all I had brought was a big jar of applesauce. Someone ate all of my applesauce and left the empty jar on the table. They said, I did what anyone would have done. I opened the refrigerator in the break room and proceeded to throw out everything while yelling at anyone within earshot, if I'm not eating, nobody's going to be eating. I was summoned into the manager's office afterwards. The whole thing was captured by the camera directly above the refrigerator. Luckily, they thought my freak out was hilarious, and then they bought pizza for everyone. I would have been mad too.
I would have been mad too.
Why are you touching
But let me tell you how we both would have been in HR. Because I don't give a fuck what happened to your applesauce. I ain't eat it. And what you're not going to do is throw away. And order everybody. And what you're not going to do is throw away my lunch, especially the way you used to bring like my little leftover stuff. I'm having a taste for, and I go have a taste for it, and y'all give me some pizza. You know, companies gonna give you the right kind of pizza. You know, it's gonna be cold and hard. Mm-hmm. Ain't never enough. They always run out. No. Now, luckily, they thought it was hilarious. I did not. Okay. And now we're both in HR because I've assaulted you, and they caught that on the refrigerator cam too. They gonna see a tussle. Me snatching my lunch back. So I gotta stop saying that I'm gonna always smack somebody, because I ain't gonna smack. Y'all know I love people. I don't want to smack nobody. I mean, I will if I have to, but most of the time I don't have to. But yeah, no, you're not throwing my lunch out. That pisses me off because y'all be having good leftovers. I intentionally make dinner some nights, and you know I used to do this. Some nights, y'all, I would make dinner intentionally so that I could have leftovers to take to lunch the next day. You
Mm-hmm.
remember, JB? I bring my little spaghettis, my little salads in, my little salmons. I used to pack my lunch all the time. I wish somebody, y'all, you know how much love I used to put into them lunches?
Mm-hmm.
Let somebody throw my lunch out.
Right. Well, okay. So this one is a. I feel like I'm. Gonna, I want to know your thoughts. Like,
I wanna
are they
know.
wrong
I
for this?
wanna
When I was working
know.
for Domino's, we had a regular that would always order 5 minutes before we closed for delivery. He was always hard to reach. Once we arrived, he was rude and never tipped. One night he ordered like 5 20-ounce sodas and nothing else. I double bagged them and shook them violently for about 3 minutes before I knocked on his door.
It's the shook them violently.
Yes.
That
Shook them
shook them violently is funny
violently.
as hell. I shook them violently. Like, oh, okay, tell us how you really feel.
Hmm. Let's see. Oh, that one seems like, oh gosh. Okay, so this one is for
Did they
this
wait, wait,
one.
wait? You didn't
Mhm.
finish it. Did they explode on him?
I don't know. I guess the assumption is that they probably did explode. They didn't, because obviously, if he opened them, he probably would have called it after they closed anyway. So I don't know.
Yes.
But
It's too late, baby.
this next one is a nurse. Nurse said, I am a nurse in a very busy ER. Sometimes the patient rooms get really dirty because we use a lot of supplies while treating patients, especially if we have to perform blood transfusions or CPR. We are fortunate enough to have house cleaners to clean the rooms, though there was one housekeeper who was so disagreeable. She refused to tasks that were absolutely in her job description. One of these tasks was to empty patients' plastic urinal bottles. After a patient left the room, she simply wouldn't clean the room until the nurse emptied the bottle. One day I was extremely busy and hadn't gotten around to emptying the bottle in one of my rooms. I asked her to please clean the dirty room because I had a lot of medications to give, and it'd really help out if the room was clean soon. She rolled her eyes and turned the other way. I was furious that she refused to be a team player, so I went in the room and emptied the urinal bottle all over the floor in the toilet.
No, she ain't have to do that. Cause stuff with stuff with biological, mm mm. She gonna pour it on the floor and pick.
I guess she said, "Well, you didn't want to throw away the bottle, but you have to clean up the floor now,"
But see, now she'd
which
be
is still
wrong if she
terrible.
pulled. She'd be wrong if she pulled one of them Miss Avery things. She said, next time I'm gonna put a little Sugar Avery pee.
Okay,
She'd be wrong though. You know damn well she shouldn't have did that.
I'm gonna do one last one that I have not read.
All
One
right.
of them is someone who was working for American Express.
Oh God.
One says the first line is, "My boss fired me because he didn't like me," or
I hate when you do this. Do both.
uh no, but I was going to have you choose between three,
Oh, all right.
and the last one is just I don't know. That don't sound like it'd be juicy.
Wait, you
Uh,
said what?
a coworker tried to start up a pyramid scheme.
Coworkers always starting pyramid schemes. Having coworkers is a pyramid scheme in and of itself.
So is that the one you want me to do, or one of the other ones?
Mm, do the other one.
Which
Do
other
the
one?
Amex.
Okay. All right, Amex. When I worked on the ninth floor at the American Express headquarters office around 1980, my supervisor was a VP of personnel and a real asshole, bigot, and womanizer. At one
Oh,
point, I was on the multi-line phone ordering flowers for his mistress on line one and a birthday gift for his wife on line two.
what?
One week, I was fed up with his temper tantrums and unpredictable nature, so on the day he was leaving for a business trip, I went to the travel agency downstairs and told them that he gave them permission to destroy his business card, the plastic card that he used for lunch expenses, trip expenses, everything. He threw a fit when he found out his car was destroyed hours before his flight. I still remember how he screamed and slammed his desk. I was inwardly laughing hysterically. I would have loved this story even more if she would have found a way to get him caught up with the mistress
Right,
and
right.
the
That would have
wife
been
and
better.
everything else. But
You like
yes,
Miss Mamas. That would have been the move. Like, oh yeah,
right.
and his wife knew.
All right. So lastly, in Brew Talk, It is an Am I the Asshole? It is an Am I the Asshole where a husband finally claps back at a mother in law, or who would have been his mother in law by this time, um, for all of the rude things that she had done and said to him throughout the course of the relationship that he had with her daughter. Um, you know, as always, the question at the end of this is,
Yes.
am I the asshole?
Oh. Look at me
Okay.
off task.
This is what happened.
All right.
She is a 31-year-old woman married to, oh, I guess she's using real names. Scott is her husband, who is 36. Um, she was formerly engaged to a guy named Martin, but they broke things off. Okay. So I recently got married to my husband, Scott. Before I met him, I was engaged to my former fiance, but we broke it off because this relationship was sort of pushed by my family because he's a doctor and comes from a wealthy family. When our relationship ended, Mom was devastated. She did her best to try to bring us back together. For example, she lied to Martin about me being pregnant to save us. This was years ago now. We're all on good terms, including Martin. Mom has a bit of tension towards Scott. She treats him well, but constantly makes passive, nagging comments about him. She compares him to Martin all the time, which bothers both of us, but we try to let it slide. Mom kept telling Scott about the diamond ring, new car, and bank account Martin got for his fiance, and kept sending him photos saying how generous Martin is to his fiance, and then compared him to Scott and what he had done for me. I told her to stop doing this, and she apologized. Last week, we were at my parents' house for a social gathering. Lots of our relatives came, and we had dinner. At the dinner table, my mom asked Scott if he had seen the text message she sent him the other day. He said he was sorry and that he didn't notice. She told him to check it right then and read it out loud so everyone at the table could hear. He took his phone and started reading the text out loud. Her text mentioned how Martin got his fiance a new house and how generous he was, and then said that Martin is younger than Scott, yet was able to buy a house, basically shaming Scott for his inability to buy a house. She wrapped up by saying that Martin maybe wasn't so bad for me after all. I was shocked and Scott was pissed, obviously. However, he didn't lash out or anything. He looked at the text, smiled, and said, "You know what?" He said, what gets me about this entire text is how you were a public educator for 30 years, yet you can't differentiate between the passive you and the contraction you're. Good God, the thought of the children that you must have left behind. Everyone at the table busted out in the laughter, and my mom's face went pale. She decided to leave the table, and then she and my sister started yelling at me, saying Scott was being awfully rude, and I need to get him to apologize immediately for embarrassing my mom at the table. I refused to tell him to apologize, then pointed out how she was being judgmental towards him. She defended herself, saying she was letting him know, and he had no confidence and took it personally. I left, but kept getting told to talk to him and get him to apologize for what he did. Am I the asshole?
No.
So this is what's going to shock you here. Everyone in this thread is calling her the asshole. But this is why. Why are you letting your mom treat your husband this way? They said, yes, your husband handled that like a champ, but grow a freaking spine and tell your mom in no uncertain terms to cut that shit out. Which I guess I can agree with. A lot of this has progressed.
Say it again. Wait.
No, okay, so they said, why are you letting your mom treat your husband this way? Yes, your husband handled it like a champ, but grow a freaking spine and tell your mom in no uncertain terms to cut that shit out. That's why they think she's an asshole. They don't think that she's an asshole for not helping. They think she's an asshole for letting it get this far.
Oh, okay, I can agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, yeah, that's why I said not the asshole, because I wasn't thinking in terms of that, but I see what they're saying. Like, yeah, you're an asshole because if it hadn't escalated to this point, you stood up in the first place, we wouldn't be right here right now. There'd be no need. I agree.
Because in my mind, I'm still stuck on the fact that your mom lied about a pregnancy trying to get your ex-fiance to get back with you.
Hello?
That's a big lie. So this is what someone drafted up a long response, and I think they've been marked as having, like, you know how you can vote people up. This person has one of the highest votes on the thing. They said, Yes, this. How long is your husband going to take feeling like shit before he starts looking for appreciation and value elsewhere? I'm not saying he will cheat,
No.
but he may leave you because he's tired of your family and how they're making him feel. Your mother is sabotaging your marriage and you are allowing it to happen. And one day you'll wake up and wonder what happened, but it's pretty obvious. Give your mother clear guidelines. They said, for example, if you ever speak about Martin or text, email, whatever to my husband, I will go NC. What does that mean?
It's NC, and you said insane.
I don't know what NC means.
Me neither.
It is rude, bullying, and upsets them. You never allow your students to behave this way towards each other, to demean each other and compare them to one to make another feel bad, would you? And then have a sit down with your husband. Apologize to him for allowing this to go on for as long as it has, and let him know the limits and rules you set with your mother. Let him know you will support him and that you will go and see if this continues. What the fuck does NC mean? Give him space and encouragement to be actually honest about how this has impacted him and his feelings of self worth, how secure he feels in the marriage. Some therapy might not be a bad idea either for both of you individually or together. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
Y'all been together for years. There's nothing. I wish somebody in my family would talk crazy to Brian and I sit right there and let that shit happen.
Facts. Well, but I feel like people in our families already know what type of time we on, so they
Oh
ain't
yeah,
even going to take it.
yeah. For us, they know
already
that like if anyone's going to say something back, it's going to be us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's
They know
nothing
the
okay with how this is.
vibe. That's completely unacceptable.
Like the fact that she's told him to read this text message out loud in front of people. She wanted to try to embarrass him in front of everyone. Like that, yeah. And I'm glad that he said what he said. I'm glad that they got mad. Try me again, ho, because I will. This is the nice version.
Try me again, huh?
This is the nice version of what you could have got. Try me again.
Try me again, huh?
So, yeah, I thought that was a good one. And yes, I would say she's not an asshole for not having him apologize, but she definitely is an asshole for allowing this to go on as long as she had.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, but that's it. That's all I got for Rude Talk. Let's go into Living While Black.
Because we've been black most of our lives.
So,
I dance with it and everything.
I hear you try to give yourself like something. But, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but sure. But my first thing is actually something really dope. First, I liked it because, one, the university I'm about to talk about is in North Carolina. And, shout out to North Carolina. But in Raleigh, we have university, well, HBCU, St. Aug. St. Augustine University has just basically launched their very first HBCU women's rowing team in the entire country. And first of all, dope. But it says this university has been around for 155 years, and in this 155th year, they decided that they wanted to start the first ever HBCU women's rowing team. It consists of 5 student athletes, and St. Aug has already been approved and certified by the American Collegiate Rowing Association, which is cool. So it says the team will be helmed by a professor in the School of Business, Management, and Technology, Dr. Mark JaNiece, who wants to add an additional 5 athletes to the roster. If they're able to expand the team, the women's rowers will be able to compete in the 8 event because with 5 athletes, they're only eligible for the quad. But I just want to go back to, we talk a lot. We joke a lot about black people and water.
And water. You didn't have to say water. He did not have to say water like that, y'all. And water.
But we have seen most recently when it comes to swimming that black people will excel in swimming if we decide that that's something we want to do. In fact, we will excel in any sport that generally they don't see us excelling in and run shit. We've seen, look at what happened in golf with Tiger Woods. Look at what happened in tennis with Serena and Venus. Like, there's so many sports out there. The Simone for swimming. Hell, Simone for gymnastics, Dominique Dawes for gymnastics. Like, when we decided that's something we're going to do, we we kill it. So in my mind,
Always.
I'm already thinking, okay, this is a small team right now, but let them gain steam. They go. I can see them winning. I can see them winning
Hmm.
whatever they are in because that's what we do. That is exactly what we do. But
True.
one of the students, her name is Micaiah. She's a junior. Her name is Micaiah Hill. She said that she joined the team because it also offered a chance to be a part of a movement. She said, what made me want to join was the fact that this was the first HBCU rowing team and he was dedicating it to women. Which
Right.
is something else worth noting here. Like this was a women's team. I'm in for women's. I wanted to be a part of that movement and change a predominantly male white sport with a little bit of melanin magic to have black girls doing it. I want to do this so we can inspire other black girls at other schools who want to be rowers and do crew. I just thought it's beautiful. I just love it.
It is beautiful.
I love it. It says before this, Howard University was the only HBCU to produce a rowing team, but it was all male.
Of course, because rowing is pretty. It is pretty male
Yeah,
dominated.
it's a pretty male dominated sport. So I just thought it was dope
I do too.
seeing this happen, seeing it just happen out of nowhere, which is was like let me do a Beyonce drop for this new announcement for this thing that we're gonna launch at our
Boom.
university.
Right? You see me
Here we
trying to
are.
do partition sound?
Like right now, they say that the United States Rowing Association has reported that only a mere 13% of rowers at all levels are athletes of color. 2% are black.
Two.
2%.
That don't make no damn sense, and it's 2022.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought that was really dope. And yeah, so shout out to St. Aug. I actually know someone who graduated from St. Aug. I know a couple of people
Do
that
you?
graduated from St. Aug.
You don't know nobody
Because
from
prior
St.
to
Aug.
that,
You
I
know
think
that.
St. Aug was mainly known for track and field. A lot of their track and field team members come from like the Caribbean, or a lot of people from New York go down to St. Aug, or a lot of the HBCUs in North Carolina for college and for sport. So I know them a lot for that. Um, but yeah, I've gone on their campus before. I remember before it turned into what it is now because St. Aug's campus used to, you can tell, funding wasn't a thing that they would get as often as some of these larger
You ain't have to do them
HBCUs.
like that.
But I think as time has gone on and they've continued to prove themselves as being a worthy HBCU, and I do that in quotes because all
Yeah.
HBCUs are, but you know that we see stuff all the time where we see that if money's going to an HBCU, it
It
tends to
always
go to
goes
the
to Howard, Hampton,
Mm-hmm.
A&T.
Spelman, all these
Yeah.
big ones,
Clark.
but you don't see it for the smaller ones. And St. Aug is a smaller HBCU,
Right.
so it's nice to see this and nice to see this type of attention because in my mind, naturally, I think that getting this type of exposure is going to garner a lot more interest to the university, and more interest that the university can get, the more funding that it'll probably get, and hopefully it will continue to grow and they'll be able to continue to improve their campus and everything like that too. So shout out to St. Aug. And I'll hand it over to you for you to wrap things up.
Okay. So mine is going to be this dope black excellent teacher, JaNiece Jenkins, who helped one of her students who were choking.
Mm-hmm.
Seen it on the news here. She was quick. Student, I guess, was trying to twist the cap off of a water bottle, and the way he twisted it and popped it, the cap popped into his throat. Like the bottle
Mm-hmm.
cap went into his throat, and he went to go try to like rinse his mouth, I guess, and try to spit it out. But then it got lodged deeper in his throat, and without him even saying a word, he just put it to his throat and was just like pointing to it, kind of panic. And his teacher did the Hamlet maneuver and saved him from choking. And I mean, everybody kept saying like, "Oh, you don't have to make it." I think any teacher would have done that. Any teacher would have done that. Yeah, yeah. Any teacher would have done that. But this excellent black teacher did it. So, and that's
And
okay.
honestly,
It's
like
okay.
I want to think that any teacher would do that, but you never know how people are going to react in those situations.
Everybody.
She acted on the spot. There are others that might
Talk
not
that
have been
talk.
able to handle that, and they probably would have ran to try to get someone to do it for them. And minutes are precious when it comes to stuff like that. So the fact that she was able to react immediately is worth commending because everybody wouldn't do that.
Yes. That's what I said. Oh, can you talk that talk, please? And thanks.
I
I
mean, because I think
appreciate it.
about when I worked for the city of Raleigh, I worked for the Parks Rec program. We're all taught CPR, but there'll
Whether or
be
not
people
you
in there
use it.
like they know that they're only doing the class because they're being told that they have to know how to do it.
Exactly.
But whether
Exactly.
they will actually be able to act on it when that moment happens is completely different. And I seen someone act on it. I want to say Crystal did. One of our former guest hosts. I
Hmm.
want to say someone on her team, one of her groups, was choking once, and she may have done it. I can't remember. If anyone would have reacted, it probably would have been her. But or maybe it was bleeding. I think it was bleeding. Something happened to one of the kids and they were bleeding, and she reacted immediately, took off something, wrapped
Hmm.
them up, everything.
Cause
There's
she
some
needed
people who
that.
have that natural response to something like that, but everyone isn't built that way. So
Yeah, no,
for them
that's
to
really
try to
true. Like
say any
everybody
teacher would have
can't be
done
that
that,
quick.
don't try to take that from this queen. She did that, and everybody would not have done that, despite them
Right.
being educated on it.
Hello.
Hell, some of them might not have been able to do that because there's still a certain level of strength needed to do stuff like this. You never know how people are going to react in that. And then even if you did do it, she did it correctly because there are a lot of people who do CPR and are not doing it right. They're not doing it with the right type of form, especially since you have to adjust things based off of the size of the person that you're working on.
Right. And
So
she
there's
did
a
it.
lot of factors in there. So don't try to take that from her. She killed that. Congratulations to you.
Good for her.
Mhm. Well, that brings us to the end of our episode. And
Hmm.
someone actually said that they actually tried to find something to close us out this week with. Did you have something that you want to leave
Yes.
with?
All I wanted to say is that, ladies, and get this from A Nicole. Once you start talking to someone that you're finished with, ladies and men, once you start talking to them like you work in HR, like, hey, I wish you well and the best of luck in your endeavors, the thrill is gone. It's over. Finished. Also, if you guys feel like you gotta shrink yourself to be with somebody, don't be with them, y'all. I had to learn the hard way with that. I had to realize, like, oh, this is not a fit because I'm completely altering who I am. Now I'm altering my authenticity to accommodate this person. That
Mm-hmm.
ain't how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
See, so if y'all would not one, two things.
So I don't have anything positive to end this with,
Damn.
but I saw this tweet and I thought it was funny because I feel like a lot of people do this, and I'm sure there are a lot of women out here who can relate to this tweet. The tweet says, and it's from someone named Lovely with two Y's underscore AM. The tweet says, sometimes I just grab my own ass and jiggle it. Yeah, I wish y'all could see her face because I think she feel like she was like, I've been seen. I've been seen.
Because sometimes you do gotta give it a little wiggle on your own. Like a little poof. Y'all know I ain't got, I mean, I got,
She keeps
you
talking
know.
about this wagon, but it's turned from a wagon
Mm-hmm.
to more like a, you know,
Don't get
paper
mad at my
bag.
two coconuts.
Oh, oh, look at her. Finding ways to describe that thing. But yeah, if no one has jiggled your butt for you lately, do it for yourself. All right, ballheads. We will talk to you guys next week.
Next week. Next week.